Happy Monday. So I know it's pretty late. So today was quite a busy day, but still I had to do this. It's a commitment. Every Monday I have to share my stats. So this week of June 15th to the 21st, which was yesterday, I kind of switched up my workouts a little bit. So the key thing is that I realized that I was trying to do too many things at the same time. I was trying to optimize for speed. I'm also trying to optimize for VO2 max. I'm also optimizing for distance, right? And as I mentioned the last week, I talked to a consultant, and the consultant said, hey, the first thing that you really absolutely need to do is to optimize for your aerobic base, right? Like making sure you can actually find out what your base is, like what's your baseline. So you're literally building out your base, and you're optimizing more for, hey, how far can you go, before you run out of breath? Like how far, the furthest you could go, right? And you keep on doing it and you keep on improving, right? It's not even about like how many beats per minute or your heart rate. Like that is secondary. It'll improve over time. The key thing is to get to your VO2 max, like improve your VO2 max will automatically improve, and there's a guy who's called Maffetone. I believe his name is Maffetone. And it's literally just making sure your workouts are easy, right? 80% easy, then 20% like a little bit strenuous, right? And the reason why is because number one, it's safe. It's safe. You're able to actually, hedge against injuries. The second thing is that you're consistent, right? If you're doing 80% easy, you could do it 5 times a week. But if you're going hard, right? If you're going hard day one, like you're going to take about 4 or 5 days off because you're healing from all those injuries, right? Or you're healing from all the strenuous effort that you put in. And consistency is key. So I decided, let me look at, like, I'm doing too many things. I'm trying to optimize for VO2 max. I'm trying to optimize for my daily steps. I'm trying to optimize for distance. How far can I go, right? I'm trying to optimize for my cadence. So that's just too many things that is throwing your body a loop, right? It's throwing your body a loop, and your body is like wondering, hey, what is this guy trying to do, right? He's all over the place. So how am I supposed to know like what to focus on? So my focus moving forward is literally just how do I train at a low heart rate? Go as far as I can, 10 miles, it doesn't matter, 5 miles, 6 miles, whatever, go as far as I can before I feel like, I'm totally done. I'm ready for the next day, right? And at this point, like after doing the calculation, there's a simple calculation, like I think it's some calculation to figure out your optimal training heart rate, but it's by Phil Maffetone. If you just Google Phil, I believe his name is Maffetone, right? He's written a book and he has a formula. He has YouTube videos. You can also watch those. And it's something to do with take your highest heart rate, right? If it's 170, right? Minus your age if you're 51. So let's say it's 170 minus, let's say 50, just to make it easy. Then your optimal training heart rate should be around 120, right? Beats per minute, right? So with that, now you can figure out, okay, every time you go above, like you could sometimes go above, but try and maintain that 120. And then depending on your physical fitness and how long you've been training, you can add 5 or 10 points to that, right? And then you find your optimal training heart rate, right? Some people say it coincides with your zone 2. You could go with your zone 2 or you could go with your optimal heart rate. It doesn't really matter as long as you are not overdoing it, so that you can actually go back and be able to actually do it the next day and keep it consistent. If you decide it's 3 times a week, then go 3 times a week. So nevertheless, we'll dive into the data. Great resting heart rate, it's going down, and wow is not like wow, it's week over week, right? So week over week, it's gone down 2.5, which is great. So this is supposed to go down. This is supposed to go up, heart rate variation. So this wasn't too good. And I know the reason, sleep again. It's always sleep. And so my heart rate kind of maintained it to 30.9, and my VO2 max, my daily steps, I'm definitely going up. There's a lot of activities, like I said, it's the summertime, so definitely up and down. So getting those steps, so that's great. My sleep, again, it's pathetic. It's not where I need it to be, but I'm still working on it. Some days I'm getting good night's sleep. Some days it's just all over the map, right? 4 hours, 4.2 hours. Terrible, right? But my recovery scores are great. So 3 red flags I already know. Recovery dropped, and that's associated with sleep. Recurring weekend step collapse, 100%. So I work out really hard Monday through Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, something happens. I'm just like, I'm out of gas. I'm exhausted. And the reason, again, is, as I explained, I'm trying to do too many things, right? If I was easy, like just doing it at my optimal heart rate is between 124. My training optimal heart rate is 124 beats per minute to 127, I believe, 127 on the higher rate. So that's my optimal training rate. If it goes up, I get a notification on my watch and it lets me know, hey, you're above. Can you slow it down? It's frustrating in the beginning because, you're used to running at a certain cadence, and then all of a sudden you're going over your heart rate, and then now you have to slow down. And eventually you'll definitely get faster. I did talk to a couple of runners this weekend, and eventually you will get faster at that low heart rate. It's crazy. It's crazy how counterintuitive that is, that you actually go faster at a lower heart rate. Doesn't make sense, but that's exactly what happens. And the reason why is because you've improved your efficiency of maximizing oxygen, right? Anaerobic breathing, you become more efficient because of that consistency. So that's this week's report. Still getting at it. Again, I had talked last week, I did talk about hey, some tests you could absolutely take if you don't have insurance. I'm wrapping that up. We'll definitely have an update by next week. So that way, these will give you the preliminary vital signals, but then you have those long-term signals like, hey, your A1C, A1C, checking out your blood sugar, over time, checking out like your metabolism. You could do like a BMP, basic metabolic panel, and a comprehensive metabolic panel. So those will give you a little bit of information as far as how are you breaking down food. What is your metabolism like? You can also do a urea test. I'll definitely compile some of those tests and also compare with how much you would pay, even without insurance. Like, you'll be amazed. I talked to this company and they've actually, because a lot of these testing companies, here's the thing. A lot of these testing companies, Quest I think is the major one. A lot of them have all this capacity, but a lot of people don't, even with the ones with insurance, don't want to take these tests because, one, there's a stigma, right? Because you're getting it from the doctor. The doctor has to be the one to recommend it. And every time a doctor recommends it, guess what? There's the stigma of, gosh, what are they going to find out? And then the results will be sent to a third party, right? Which is the doctor. So that stigma, it's behavioral, it's very behavioral. But now what if you flip the coin and now you are in full control, where you go in and you take the tests that you absolutely need and you have agency in your health. So that's the whole difference. If people started having more agency in their health, I think more people will be way more healthier. But that's my spiel. So come to the end of it. Have a great week. Cheers. We'll talk soon. Lee, signing out.